up, people? The US is returning part of the money laundered by Nigeria's former petroleum minister, Madam Alison Madueke. In case you're watching. Now, the US is not just returning this money, by the way. Nigeria's Attorney General and Minister of Justice said that 50 million out of the 52.8 million of the money would go through the World Bank to support rural electrification projects. So they're promising to use $50 million of that money to power rural parts of the country so that they can have stable electricity. I mean, we're all hoping that they will actually follow through with this, and the remaining $2.8 million they are saying would be directed to the International Institute of Justice to strengthen the justice system in Nigeria and to promote anti-corruption efforts. So one of the reasons why they are not giving it to the government directly, if you would notice, is that they do not trust the Nigerian government. Although some Nigerians would also argue that why should they trust the US government, because what were they looking at when Madam was wiring the money this whole time into America? Why didn't they say something at the time? So this is the first repatriation of the money stolen by Madam Madueke. Hopefully America will send us the rest of the money. We're also waiting on the UK and Switzerland for them to return all the ones that she kept in their countries. Now, as much as we appreciate getting back $52.8 million, it's actually a very small amount compared to the whole amount that Madam and her friends allegedly stole. Don't forget that she acquired many properties in Nigeria. In 2017, Nigerian government actually seized 56 different properties belonging to Madam as part of the investigation, including this high-rise building in Banana Island, as well as properties in Ikoyi, Banana Island, Foreshore Estate in Lekki, Lagos. They also seized a house with a bulletproof gym, remember? In case somebody wants to kill Madam while she's sweating, of course. And they also confiscated other items like clothing, jewelry, including 41 waist trainers. I mean, this woman wanted to be snatched 24/7. 41 waist trainers. Story kill, you know. By the way, don't forget to subscribe, guys, if you're yet to. Thank you so much in advance. T for thanks. But more importantly, let's not forget that she didn't do this by herself. She had friends, she had help, she had associates. You know, she allegedly collected bribes from her associates, Kola Aluko, Jide Omokore, and Igo Sanome, that's according to the US Justice Department, in exchange for allocating several oil lifting contracts to them, despite their lack of technical expertise or capacity to operate the oil mining leases. They made tons of money by not fulfilling the obligations stated in the agreement, and in return for that, they were buying Madam properties in different parts of the world and wiring money into her account. Altogether, Madueke and these three men allegedly stole more than $1.7 billion. And you would not believe what, they spent the money on. The US government has seized and auctioned a lot of their assets in New York and LA, especially that of Uncle Kola Aluko. In fact, the biggest foreclosure ever in New York City is a $50 million apartment seized from a Nigerian by the name of what? Uncle Kola Aluko. You know, they auctioned that apartment for $36 million. They also seized an $80 million yacht that he bought. I mean, we saw Beyonce and her husband cruising in it. They had rented it. We did not know that that was the money meant for the masses in Nigeria. Now, the US government auctioned that yacht as well for $42 million, which is like half what it's worth. He bought 3 private jets, not 1, not 3. I don't know, what do people do with 3 different private jets? Is it that they get tired of being in the same private jets, they have to hop into another one? And let's not forget that he also bought 58 exotic cars. I mean, this man is like Dino Melaye Pro Max, okay? But guys, jokes aside, I couldn't help but wonder what this money could do in Nigeria. 1.7 billion, not million, $1.7 billion. Do you know the caliber of hospitals that money will build in Nigeria? Look at Rush Hospital, East Tower in Chicago. It was built with $654 million, not billion, $million in 2011. Now, even with inflation, we should still be able to build at least 2 of such hospitals in Nigeria. Although labor is way cheaper in Nigeria, so even with inflation, I think we should be able to get at least 3 of such hospitals in Nigeria. And do you know how much they make at that hospital? In 2022 alone, they made more than $3 billion. You see how infrastructure can fuel the economy? Huh? That hospital as a whole has more than 10,000 employees. Just imagine the number of families that are benefiting because they built that hospital. Also, let's look at an hospital in Texas, Texas Children's Pavilion for Women. It was built with $575 million between 2007 and 2012. That means even with inflation, we should have at least 2 of that hospital now in Nigeria if we really want to. This hospital alone employs about 13,000 people. Hopefully, some of you are starting to realize the impact of people stealing money from the masses in Nigeria. It's not just the fact that we could have good hospitals and less people would die, which is great in itself, but the fact that many of our graduates in Nigeria would have jobs. If we have hospitals that look like this and that are so well equipped like this, our doctors, our nurses, our lab technicians, they won't be so desperate to leave the country. And let's not talk about other people that we employ at hospitals, accountants, auditors, engineers that would be involved in the construction. So many people would have jobs if we have hospitals that look like this. And let's also look at Smilo Cancer Center in Connecticut. It was built with $467 million, less than $500 million. Even if that's the only thing that these people decide to do with that money in Nigeria, it would have been great. If you've noticed, it's not only the common people that are suffering from lack of good hospitals anymore in Nigeria. We We are all in this together. Big people are also suffering from it. There's no reason for our politicians to be dying abroad while receiving treatment. A Nigerian governor died last year while receiving treatment abroad. We're a very rich country with natural resources and enough manpower. We can make this happen if we actually want to. So let me know what you guys think about what this money could do in Nigeria if they invested it in Nigeria instead of them taking it abroad to buy yacht and mansion in America. Now,